What's going on, guys? JT here from Precision Boxing. Now, one of the biggest aspects of speed is visual reaction. The sooner you can recognize different attacks coming at you, different movement, different types of positions, the better position you are in to react, either to defend, to counter, to land your own shots. A lot of us probably don't understand what's going on with visual reaction. In boxing, you recognize things early. Once you've seen them enough, you recognize things early and you start to understand the trajectory of the attacks coming at you. As well, you start to get a feel for patterns. So that's why it's important to understand when you go through boxing, it takes a while to build up your recognition of the patterns. So for example, some of the most common patterns are jab, right hand, jab, lead hook, jab, right hand, lead hook, right hand, lead hook, jab, right hand, uppercut, jab, body shot. You start to recognize some of these common patterns, and that's going to help you defend and block and counter and move, etc. When you recognize a shot coming at you, this recognition comes early because the punch is on a trajectory. And in order for that punch to have any power, once it's launched, it has to stay pretty much on that trajectory. Otherwise, it's really not going to have any power. So if I start to throw a real committed shot here and then change it up to a hook at the last second, that's not going to be a very effective shot, which is different from if I fake a jab and then hook, then I put intent on that hook. That's going to be an effective shot. So one thing to understand is that when you see a punch coming at you, you start to recognize the trajectory early and then you react on that. So if I'm throwing the jab here, you will start to see, as soon as I start to go here, you're going to start to notice what that is. This is how your mind cues and picks it up. An example of this is something that happened a few years ago. They took a top softball pitcher, underhand pitcher, and put her up against some pro baseball players. And even though the pitches were coming much slower, not as fast as the overhand hardball pitches, these batters weren't used to the trajectory. They weren't used to the underhand and that path. And so they were missing. They were getting struck out by these underhand pitches that were coming way slower than what they're used to. Because what happens is, as this overhand pitch comes, as soon as it releases out of the hand, you start to recognize it. And you can start to track curve balls. You can start to track different things. But you generally get an idea early of where that ball is going. So it's important to see enough shots that you start to understand where these punches are going and how you can react. Of course, as the defender, you have many ways that you can defend. You can parry the shot, you can slip the shot, you can cover, you can pull, you can move with your feet. There are a number of things that you can do. But in order to do the right thing, you do have to have a sense of what's coming at you, and you have to have a sense of the different patterns. This is also why when you go up against somebody who gives you a different look, you may have a hard time with that. If you go up against someone here who's giving you the standard amateur stance, you're going to be used to seeing this type of jab coming at you. The minute you get this where the hand is down, a lot of people have a hard time with that. They're not used to it because it's out of their vision and the trajectory is different. As well, what a lot of beginners have a hard time with is they're used to this, going up against fighters like this, and all of a sudden they face this odd fighter who has this hand out here, and they look at that hand like it's poison. They're trying to get away from it, when really it's not a big deal. You just haven't seen it before. You haven't seen that look, and you have to get used to it. So we're going to do a partner drill here in this video. Now, with this partner drill, I'm walking you through the drill of how the drill would work. But what you ideally are going to do is take this drill and work it with a partner in your gym or wherever you're going to meet with your training partner. This is just sort of so you have an idea of how this drill will work. Then when you get with your partner, you can work the same drill with them. What I'm going to do is just throw some jabs at you. You can react how you want. You can parry the shot, slip, you can cover. But as long as you start to get used to seeing that coming at you, get used to seeing it, get used to the timing and reacting. And then I'm going to start to give you different looks. I'm going to give you the hand down here. I'm going to pop it up like this. You can start to get used to that. I'm going to put the hand in your face a little bit more, and you start to get used to that. And then we're going to work from the southpaw. I'm going to start to get used to that. And of course, the southpaw can give you this look, the southpaw can give you this, or the southpaw can give you this. So it's understanding different looks because the trajectory and the start positions are going to be different. The paths are going to be different. So let's get started working this partner drill. We're going to simulate it here, you and me. We're going to work it here. I'm just throwing the shots at you, but with your partner, you could do it where you could go back and forth, where one throws, move a little bit, and then the other throws, or you could have one be offense and one be defense, whatever you want to do. Okay, so let's get started. All you got to do is defend, parry, and just get used to what's coming at you. I'm going to give you different looks. Ah, just playing around with you. All right. All right, time. So this is just an example of different looks. You'll see different trajectories, different speeds. Now, don't be frustrated if you have a hard time with that, because from here over video, I don't really have to step and close the gap. I have the advantage of just being right here. But if you can recognize it from that distance, then when you're with somebody in real life, doing a partner drill, it's going to be even easier for you to recognize. One thing that obviously the video can't give you is the feel of the pressure, the feel of the impact. Somebody might give you a light touch, somebody might really come through, and your hand position, the amount of commitment and pressure matters. And also, of course, the amount of energy it takes to slip, and of course, the other shots following up. But work through this video a bunch of times to get used to seeing different looks and get used to the feel for it. And then when you go and work with a partner, you can start to understand your hand position. Typically what happens if the hand is higher up, often they're landing on your forehead, so you might have to get used to a little bit of head movement, or you put your hands up a little higher, and if they're gonna come from high to the body, you touch it down. If the hand is low down here, you can kind of keep your hand here. They can still come up and jab you, but they gotta bring their hand up a little bit before they commit this way. Usually when the hand is low, you can start to knock it down. You just gotta watch for that hook, so you gotta be ready with that hook coming around the side, because it's harder to see it from the low position. From here, resting close, usually what happens is because the hand and arm is resting, it's really hard to almost see any movement in advance. You just, boom, that hand just seems to come right out at you. So different things that you gotta get used to. Watch this video a bunch of times, work this with your partner. Once you start getting used to seeing the jab coming faster, that's gonna give you more time to counter. That's gonna give you more time to see the follow-up punches. All that time builds up. Saves you energy, saves you time to think, so you're not being overwhelmed, and you start to get a feel for timing to counter. When you're countering, when you recognize shots coming at you, you can work it a couple different ways. You start to see the shot coming, so you can let the person fully commit to the last second, or you can recognize it early, boom, and then go in and beat them to the punch. But Either way, whether you have more time and you save it for the last second or you beat them to the punch, you have more time to recognize what's going on. That's going to help you relax, help you preserve your energy, help you get hit less, and help you land more shots. All right, I hope this video helps you guys out, helps you with your boxing. Remember to go over to precisionstriking.com, check out the stuff I got there. A ton of instructional videos all the way from beginner guides, footwork, head movement, defense, and counterpunching. Check it all out at precisionstriking.com. All right, thanks for watching, guys. Peace.